And we are live. So, welcome back, everybody. This is the 85th episode of Pro Wrestling Society. Today, we're going to get into some exciting topics. We're going to discuss um, the best pro wrestling missions and moves with my guest here.
Hey,
So, how are you doing?
uh, I'm doing good. How about you?
Pretty good too. Is there anything else you want to anything that you want to say before you get started, or do you want to
Yeah,
be great?
yeah. Hey guys, it's your boy, the Blanco boy here, and today I'll be, I'm joined with, Isaiah, and we're gonna be talking about wrestling. So, yeah, let's get to it and let's get cracking.
All right. So, what do you think are the best pro wrestling submission holds in your opinion?
Submission holds, submissions and holds. Uh, it it depends on what kind of holds and submissions you're talking about. Like I think one submission, like like the headlock, the arm lock, I think was it the I think it was it the shimmy wanger or something. Um, and leg lock. Um, those are it depends on a person, because everyone has you know their own favorite. But if I had to choose one, it would be the arm lock, which um it's more UFC to than wrestling. But the arm lock, the yeah, basically that, and with others. Because the arm lock, the reason why I like the arm lock a lot is because the arm lock, it's more of you can lock your one of your opponent's arms, as they can't use arm, and you can literally do anything because uh, there's different types of arm locks. Like you can do, the basic arm lock, which is through the hands, through the legs and through the hands, and you're pulling it, you're on the ground. That's one. Or or it's like it's more of it's more of like more of you like taking advantage of their arm. Like you have one arm, you're just taking advantage of that one arm and you're locking it, to make sure it's like it's in place and it's used as a lever. So in my opinion, the arm lock is my favorite submission or hold. So yeah.
Are you talking about the arm bar, or are you talking about the standing arm lock?
The uh I'm basically saying both, because the
Oh,
arm,
okay.
yeah.
Because I would think that the arm bar is more UFC
Hmm.
UFC type of,
Yeah.
but the pro wrestling arm lock is somewhat different. But
Hmm.
I guess some wrestlers like Ken Shamrock use the arm bar in pro wrestling. So
Yep.
um I guess it's the same thing. So yeah,
Yep.
the best submission move in my opinion would have one of the best at least would have to be the ankle lock. That one's really painful.
Oh,
That
yo,
is
I've
just
heard of
mad
that one.
painful. Yeah, you've seen it. You've seen it before, right?
Yo.
That, think about it. Like you okay, so Kurt Angle, he puts his opponent in an ankle lock, and and he's just basically twisting their ankle and just just bending it and crap to almost to a breaking point. and
Yeah.
and like and he's like, but when he's standing up, he cranks it and he yanks it up, so the pain gets worse and
Ooh.
crap. And I think that's and but I think the worst part about it was, I think the worst part is when he drops down and lays down and then just holds on to that ankle lock with his whole body, like he's using his whole body to just crank on the ankle and just almost to a snapping point. So
Yup.
I just can't imagine the pain that his opponents must go through when they get into that position. Like,
Yup.
think about it. You're in the center of the ring and you're getting ankle locked, and like you can't make it because of his whole body weight. You can't effectively make it to the ropes in time. Like 'cause I mean, just like you would have to have a high pain tolerance in order to uh, crawl and make it to the rope. So
Yup.
and well, either that or you would have to have some really really strong willpower and strength too to be able to like crawl to and pretty much have the strength to crawl, like keep crawling, like even though Angle's got his whole body weight on your leg. So
Ooh. Yeah,
that's a really
and just think about it too. Like it's already making me shiver because it's like the ankle. Ooh, that's a vulnerable part of the body too, and someone putting pressure on that, and it could lead to damage too because not yeah, like what you're saying, like not only are you putting pressure on the ankle, but you're basically you could angles can just really break that ankle if he wanted to. He can just snap that ankle, no problem, and
right.
yet and yet that can tore you apart because the ankle is what connects the leg and the foot in order to walk. And if you sever that connection, that's a really bad like a really bad break. Oh, like I just talking about it, my I'm already feeling it. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, that I think I saw somebody's ankle get broken, like just
Ooh,
yeah, like he like just sprained, or either sprained or broken. Like he was running and then his leg uh his foot accidentally like slipped. It accidentally fell into a ditch, a small little ditch thing,
ooh,
and and then he tripped over, and
ooh,
his leg just twisted, or just and his ankle snapped. I think he was like crying. He was like,
oh,
yeah, he was screaming. He was
oh.
like off,
That
and he was what?
I can relate to that. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Like his face was red and everything. He was cursing. He broke. He had a pen and he just squeezed. Like when he squeezed it so hard that it broke.
oh.
Yeah, he was like grinning. He was just like,
I,
I was just like, I felt bad watching him. Like, dang.
like I can relate to the guy because I had a related injury where this was like I think the end of my spring semester of college, my freshman year, and I remember it was like 2 or 3 weeks before finals week, and me and these group of friends, we had like this challenge where we had like a scavenger hunt. We have to hunt everything, and I remember our first challenge. Okay, like our first challenge, it went far. The next challenge, I think I ran. took a sharp left turn, and right when I took the left turn, my leg slipped, my right leg slipped, and it bent like so hard that I stepped on it, and I actually kind of heard a pop.
Oh,
Yeah, and that got me down, like crying. I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
ouch.
I felt like my whole world ended, and
Oh man.
it was so bad that I went straight. That my friends had to carry me. My whole team carried me straight to my room, and they sat me on my room. And the whole team was like, "Okay, you know what? We're just gonna have to leave Will here. We're just gonna go." So they left, and one of my friends he bought like a coffee because my college had a coffee shop, so he bought coffee for me. He was like, "Hey, Will, here's iced coffee for you to like." Or it was like a cold beverage that I liked at that college, and he gave it to me. He's like, "Here, Will, drink it. I hope it heals." I'm like, "Dude, it will," but like as of right now, like it hurts so bad. I can't walk. It's yeah. So the whole entire 3 to 2 weeks, I basically had to like use crutches. And I remember my dad came, and it was finals week, and I was still using crutches. Like I was still using crutches. So my dad saw me. And he was like, "What happened?" I told my dad, I was like, I've been running and running and running, and I broke my ankle. He's like, "Why, son? Why would you do that?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, Dad. Like, I have free time and all this stuff." And oh my gosh, I could still feel that pain, like that sensing pain of breaking my ankle. Like it was very bad, but it healed, and everything's fine. But yeah, like I can never forget that moment I broke my ankle for the first time, and that got me like, oh,
What was that? What was it like breaking your ankle? Like, what was the pain like? Like, describe it in the best way you can.
the pain was basically like it was like someone taking a baseball bat and slamming it to your foot. Cause
Oh,
if
my God.
yeah, cause it felt like my whole foot went numb. Like it went so numb that like when I used my crutches and my foot touched the floor, my right foot, it only felt like my nerves were fine. Like I can feel everything, but like when whenever I try to move my leg, it will hurt because I'm putting pressure on the ankle that that is badly injured. And all I remember was just I told my friend, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna need your help in getting lunch. So can you help me like up on the stairs?" And all my other friends who weren't in the event, they saw me and they're like, "What happened?" And you see two other friends with me. They're like my bodyguards, or not bodyguards, but there was just like at least one or two friends will be with me, and they'll be like, "Yeah, Will took a sharp turn down this hallway, and he like broke his ankle." So so like the pain was just like yeah, getting hit with the baseball bat so hard that my foot felt like jello, you know, and
Ouch.
and the pain was like at first when I first heard the pop, it felt like my life ended there. It felt like it felt like a part of me died, and I was like, "Oh, for
Dang.
like I just popped my ankle. This hurts." And it took like a couple seconds to register in my brain until I finally like screamed. I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is painful. Please help me." And like my friend got me down. He like had to like help me lift my leg up and like really get me on my feet. And it was really it was like really painful. Like I felt like my ankle was gonna break at any moment, and if it broke, I would have you know I would have been at the hospital with the cast. But Yeah, but luckily, it, like what I said, like after a few weeks, it healed. My ankle felt better. I was able to kind of walk. After that spring semester when I went home, I was able to like walk myself home, learn how to walk again. Even limping, like kind of limping a little, but I was able to get my energy back. And yeah, after that, like that pain went away like really quick. Like after the um first couple weeks, it heals and the pain goes away gradually. But there'll be days where the pain comes back and I can still feel that ankle pain whenever I twist my leg. Because I tried stretching my feet, stretching my legs, all that, and I can still feel that ankle. I can still feel that pain in my ankle. Like, shoot, that's the pain I got. So, it's not painful, but back then, it felt like someone swung. Like I was just running and someone just literally swung a baseball bat to my leg, and that's how it felt.
Oh man. And your dad asked you why, son. It was like I was
I,
like, what do you mean why? It's an accident. Like there is
I
no
know,
why.
right? I would have been like, Dad, come on, man. This is a broken foot. It happened. It happened already. So kind of had to deal with it. And yeah, like bringing my stuff down to my dad's car. Like my dad had to kind of help me. Like I had to hold the railings just in case I fell. And so I was holding the railings. I had my crutches, and they were school crutches, so I couldn't bring them home. So I kind of had to rely on my balance. And my dad helped me. Thankfully, he helped me, and everything went fine. So yeah, I couldn't bring the crutches home. That was the stupid thing. But I didn't want to go to the hospital too, because at the same time, yes, the hospital, they do help. But at the same time, like, really, I don't think I need to go to the hospital because my ankle is not the ankle bone is not severed. It's just loose.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's not like severed like from the leg to the foot. No, everything was just fine. It's just my ankle is not really in good shape right now. So yeah.
Right. And think about it though. Like the thing that makes the ankle lock like one of the best submission moves is how you don't actually need to make your opponent submit. Like once ankle I mean once angle applies the ankle lock for a long period of time, then even well, even for like a short period of time, maybe um like it pretty much damages the ankle, like strains the muscles and everything. Like it's doing damage. So even if the opponent manages to somehow like counter it or get out of it, like the damage has been done. Like they'll be
Mhm.
limping the leg for the rest of the match, and it makes it easier for Angle to get the pin.
Yup.
But but like but like other submissions, like uh like a chokehold or something, like that's not really gonna do much damage. I mean,
Nope.
all it's gonna do is it just cuts off the airways,
Yup.
but just cuts off the blood supply to the brain. But if the opponent gets out of it, then and they recover from it, they're just gonna go back to normal. Like nothing's really gonna it's not really gonna affect them that much, like the ankle lock will.
Mhm.
So and think of like when you the reason why it's such an effective move is because I mean just look at how many people Kurt Angle made tap out. Like he made Ric Flair tap out. He
Ooh.
made yeah he made He made John Cena tap out. He made a whole bunch
Heck
of people.
yeah.
He made tons of people. Like he made old school legends tap out. He made new guys
Hmm.
tap out. He made tons of people tap out to the ankle lock. Like I was watching this compilation video of all the people that he made tap out with the ankle lock. It was insane. Like the amount of like I couldn't believe the amount of people that he made tap out. What were you saying?
And they just hearing that too, like, ooh, that's painful. And I think another great wrestling move is the leg. I think when a person turns the opponent to its stomach and holds their leg. It's like I think yeah, it's
Wait,
like
what?
the leg hold or something where he has where you're holding both your opponent's leg, each leg on under each arm, and you're pulling, and the opponent's on their stomach.
Oh, you talk about the
So yeah,
Boston
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Boston Crab.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a really painful move, and that's really
yeah.
hard to get out of.
You know, I've seen a lot of wrestlers getting that move used on the, and that's like one of the most painful ones too, because not only are you not only are you pulling one leg, you're pulling both legs, and that could really affect the wrestler in ways because you're you know your your feet your feet or your legs are the most important part of your body, and if your opponent is able to not not just break one but two of your main way to wrestle, then you're basically done for, and you can't wrestle anymore. Um, so
Yeah, yeah, and it's like I think it compresses your spine too, and like and
yeah.
yeah, and it hurts it hyperextends the quads I think and your thighs. I'm not sure your hamstrings, whole bunch of muscles in your legs and crap, and that's just oh I think
Ooh.
but but another painful move I think but it would have to be the walls of Jericho, which is similar to
Oh.
that. Yeah, I've
Ooh.
yeah I've seen the walls of Jericho, and that looks mad painful. It's similar to the Boston Crab,
Yo.
but the difference is that I think the difference though is that it's like um I've seen like one pic of Chris Jericho doing it, and he put his whole knee on the guy's head on his
Woo.
yeah, and he's just applying his whole body weight on his head and the top part of his head, like the temple area.
Ooh.
So yeah, so imagine that. Like you not only is your back getting compressed and your legs getting hyperextended, but your head is feeling pain too. So
Uh-huh.
so you got so that's I'm surprised if any like I'm surprised if somebody doesn't uh if somebody can like withstand that for more than 5 seconds or even 10 seconds.
Ooh. I don't know. I mean, Jericho's really good at it too, so he could pull it off like no problem. Um,
Yeah.
and was it what's one? I think one. And you're gonna hear a lot of John Cena because he's through my personal, he's my favorite wrestler ever since a kid. Yes, he's not my first wrestler I liked. My first wrestler I liked the most was back then as a kid was The Undertaker, and I don't think Undertaker has any submissions. He might. I don't know if he does, but I know that Cena has one that's really popular. I think it's like I don't know if it's called the Cena hold. I don't know, but it's where he like he bends one of the legs, and then after that he chokes their airway, and
Yeah,
that's one painful way to go too, because not only is Cena blocking your airway, but he's like folding one leg and he's putting pressure on it. He puts his whole weight on it. But not just that, but he has both arms choking your airway, and you can't do it. You can't move and all that stuff. And I was watching a clip of Cena doing that to Batista. Um, to Batista, because the first time Batista was able to get the ropes, so Cena had to let go. But then the second time, like Cena couldn't pin Batista down, so he was like, "Yo, screw it, I'm just gonna go for the I'm just gonna go for the lock, or I'm just gonna go for my famous chokehold." And I think that time Batista tried to do the Batista bomb, yet failed, and Cena was able to get the lock on, and that's what made Batista tapped out, and that's like one of the best moments, because I thought Cena was done, because Cena was like he was tired, both of them are tired, but when I saw Cena lock and Batista just tapped out, I was like, yes, Cena won that fight, yes. It made me happy just to see Cena on the screen, really winning the match, because Cena like from what Batista's been saying is that Cena and him at a very early age, and I think the same year too. And but Cena gained all the popularity, he still wanted to gain that similarity. But since Cena won, I was like, that chokehold, I want to do that. I want to try it. Holding someone's leg, using your leg, and then after that, you choke someone's airway.
yeah, that sounds real mad painful. I need to watch that match too, um,
Yeah.
but yeah, the Undertaker, he was my favorite too as a kid. And Undertaker, he has a couple of submissions. Like he has the his most famous one is like his Hell's Gate,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, that was one of his submissions. That was probably the most painful one because like think about it, it's a it's basically an actual Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu submission hold called the Gogo Plata. That's what it's called, I think,
Ooh.
or a triangle chokehold, whichever one you want to call it. Where
Oh yep.
yeah,
Yep.
he basically chokes the guy's he basically like puts puts the guy's throat um on his leg, wraps his other leg around the neck area, I think, and then he uses his hands and just pushes their head downwards. So he's basically choking the life out of them.
Yep.
And I recall like I think he does like I recall some people though like they were coughing up blood and everything and like they were
Ooh.
fading as they were like getting knocked out. Like it was mad
Yeah.
painful and like
Yep.
and 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 I remember one segment Vicky Guerrero came out and said that he pretty much he damaged too many wrestlers larynxes and crap.
Oh.
Yeah.
Eh.
So so that's how painful that submission move is.
Mhm.
And the thing about it though is how like when you consider how strong the Undertaker is, like it's really difficult for any opponent, regardless of size, like to 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 get out of that. Like he put I remember he put Mark Henry in Hell's Gate. He made him tap out.
Yep.
Either he made him
Uh-huh.
tap out or he made him pass out. I can't remember which one exactly.
I like that part. He made him tap out. He made him pass out.
Or maybe he probably did
That's a
both.
good one. I like that.
He made him tap out. He made him pass out.
Yeah, he's like tapping, and then once Undertaker lets go, he just like fell to the ground. I'm like, damn, I would have been like, oh gosh, he knocked him out. Oh, like keep doing it. You know?
That would be super intense if the Undertaker made him tap out and then they passed out later on because he wouldn't let go. So
Do I'm gonna use that logic? Do he either tapped out or passed out?
so oh the and Cena, like I like the STFU too, like the which is the
Yes.
traditional that you mentioned. Like it just looks mad intense. Like he's
Hmm.
like he applies that and he's like like
Yeah,
and then
I like that face he does. It's just it's like the Hulk came out of him.
yeah, like and that's what I love about Cena is that like he's just super intense and kind of like every time he wrestles and uh and that movie like that movie is just it reminds me of the Chris Benoit's Crippler Crossface.
Hmm.
I think it's similar to that, but uh, somewhat different. But I also thought that Cena's FU is uh is one of the best wrestling moves because he's flipping his opponents over
Yo.
like sideways. I think he's
Mm.
doing like so he's flipping them over and then just slamming them on the ground
Ooh.
on the mat rather, and and it just looks mad painful. Like
Yo.
I think I think they land on I don't know if they land on their back or if they land on their head or I mean the or if they land on their stomach. But if they land on their stomach, like that's got to
Oh,
be that's got to be
that,
worse.
you mean his attitude era, right?
Yeah, his the attitude adjustment.
Yeah, it's on their back. So, cause like yeah, he's carrying them on their back. He's carrying it on their back, but like their stomach is touching his shoulder. So yeah, he's basically throwing them on their back.
Oh, okay, I remember now. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, but I don't know why. Like the name change is like it's not like it's goofy. Like oh my gosh, like because
Hmm.
back then it used to sound cool, you know, like because back then it was called the FU. Same,
Oh damn!
yeah,
Screw you! I'm gonna
yeah,
use that move.
yeah. That's what made it cool. Like it was back then. It was called the FU, and it sounded cool because it's like he was saying "fu" to his opponents. Like
Yo,
same with same with the STFU
yeah.
because like when you think because it's funny when you think about it like his his he's making his it's like he's saying like you know like STFU when he's applying submission hold and making them cry like a little.
Ooh.
Yeah, but now it's like I don't now it's like the name changes. It's like it ruined it. Like attitude adjustment. Like what the heck is that? Like
Hey
or
man, and like he's trying to show his opponent, hey. You need to adjust your attitude, man. If you're not, I'm gonna adjust it for you.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it sounds less it sounds less powerful than the original name,
Oh yeah. Yep.
you know. And yeah, another one of my favorite moves is the tombstone. That's one of my
Oh,
other favorite Undertaker moves. That move was crazy. Like
that that's a weird pile driver when I first saw it because instead of landing on his butt, he lands on his knees.
yeah, yeah, that like unlike the normal pile driver where people they land on their they land
Like on
on
their
their
butt.
yeah, he lands on his knees. So
Ooh,
that just looks way more intense. Like
yeah,
I was just and the thing about it is like he's driving like I think he like it's like he's slamming their whole body into the mat like and he on
yo,
their heads like he's slamming his opponents on their heads and which is like it just looks like mad devastating like not okay not only can you break your back not only can you break your neck like doing that not only can yeah not only can you break your neck getting slammed on the mat with all that body weight but like you're pretty much you pretty much can get knocked like you're getting knocked out that's
I, I,
in
I
like
think, I think Shawn Michaels. When I saw Undertaker go against Shawn Michaels got it twice, and yet that dude can still stand. I'm like,
yeah, that was unbelievable. I was like, "Oh my God! Like, are you serious?" Like, that
yeah,
was that. That was that. That was that.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When Shawn Michaels he got Tombstone. It was like I was like Tombstone Power Driver, and then uh and then the ref counts. Everybody was like 1, 2.
And he gets up.
Ah,
Yeah, he gets out, and that's the thing that gets me is that Shawn Michaels. I think there was like a crap ton of adrenaline running towards him too because like just Shawn Michaels immediately just waking up that shocked like that even shocked Undertaker once because it's like whoa
yeah,
because it's like whoa I just took him down and this dude survived and you see how tall Undertaker is that dude's
right.
massive tall yet Shawn Michaels only like chest, or no, not chest deep, like neck tall to Undertaker. Yet he still has the strength to get pile drive or tombstone a second time, and that second time Shawn Michaels submitted. He was like, you know what, I'm done, and Undertaker took that win. So
Yeah, that was insane. Like, oh my gosh, I was like, I couldn't. That match was like one of the best matches of all time. Like, it's one of the
hmm
best WrestleMania matches of all time because like once I saw Shawn Michaels get like he got he got Tombstone pile driven to the ground and and he still tapped out like barely tapped out like I was just shocked. I was like, gotta be kidding me! Like, how is this possible? Like, and
yo,
everybody, no, like nobody could believe it. Everybody was in shock. Like
hmm
everybody who was there was in shock. I was like,
yo,
oh my God. But because nobody's ever really done that before. Very few people have actually kicked out of the Undertaker's tombstone.
hmm
Oh, like when I first saw it as a kid, I actually thought that the Undertaker killed his opponents, like, because they just laid there motionless.
well, yeah, dude, they knocked out.
Like like I just can't imagine like and you like if you try if you actually try that, like you could like seriously like kill somebody because because all that force is like it could cause like cerebral bleeding and stuff,
Yo,
and you basically like you bleed out and crap, and you have this internal bleeding and stuff. So, oh man,
ooh,
that's a brutal move.
yeah, that's gonna like yeah, if you do it in real life, you can really potentially kill someone. Because yeah, like what you said, not only are you hurting the person's head and neck, but you're hurting their spine too. You're basically trying to sever the nerve between the head to the body, and just Shawn Michael just surviving one pile driver was like really surprising because you know how Undertaker has his like finisher after he pile drives someone.
Yeah,
It and like you see that Undertaker, he's gonna win, and right when Shawn Michael kicks out, Undertaker is surprised. He's taken back. He's like, "Damn, this little guy!
yeah,
If this little guy can survive one power driver, okay, I'm gonna show him more. So I'm gonna like punish him even further. You know, I'm gonna show him what true hell looks like." Um,
exactly.
and just seeing that, I was just taken back. Like, dang. And during that second power driver, during that second tombstone, you already know Undertaker's already like he's tired. He doesn't want to do it anymore. And if Shawn Michael kicks out again, then he's probably like Shawn Michael can really get Undertaker. But since Undertaker like since he got knocked out at the scene, Undertaker was able to take that win. You know, with that second power driver, and that really got Undertaker the upper hand. Because I think what Undertaker lacks that Shawn Michael doesn't have, or that Shawn Michael has, is that Shawn Michael's quick. He's quick on his feet, so he knows what to do. But the only thing was that his flips and all that stuff, like I think yeah, Shawn Michael tried to do his famous flip, but yet that gave Undertaker an opportunity to power drive him. Yet he did it a second time, and that got me thinking like, dude, first time you did it, you got power drive. You almost lost the round, or you almost lost the match. You do it again, you're gonna lose the match. And he did it, and I was just like, dang, dude, I feel bad for you
Yeah,
because they made a deal too that if Undertaker lost, that Undertaker will leave WWE. But then if Shawn Michael lose, his whole career is over. Yet Shawn Michael lost, but yet his career still stands to this day.
right, right. I don't know, but wow, I don't know about. I mean, I don't know about that, but like about. I mean, what confused me about Shawn Michaels though is like he said. He said that was actually his last match. Like he quit after
Oh,
that match because. So I don't know if he's still wrestling. Um, but I think yeah, that he said that was his last match. Like he said that match was so powerful that that he that that was the match that he wanted to um that was his retirement match.
oh, yep, yep.
Yeah,
His final match.
so like that was the perfect match. So it was
Hmm.
like like he didn't need to wrestle anymore because like no other match like could compare to that one right there.
Yep.
So that was crazy. Like that was just like and if you think about it though, um like if you actually look at the Undertaker's face though, like you could just see like a completely different side of the Undertaker. Like you could actually like for the first time you could actually see him panicking and getting emotional and getting like he's getting desperate. Like you could just see him like it's like he feels like he's actually gonna lose this match. Like this is actually the match where he's gonna lose his undefeated streak to Shawn Michaels, and that was just really powerful. Like like the moment that Shawn Michaels kicked out of his tombstone, that was just like you just see the Undertaker like losing his self control because in most throughout like most of his career, like you see him dominating his opponents, no problem. Like he's always in control. You know, he's he's the phenom. He's like a it's like he's immortal. You know, he's like this superhuman kind of figure. But in that match, it's like for the first time you see like wow, like he's actually human. Like you know,
Hmm.
he's not as powerful as he thinks he is, and he's not as powerful as as everybody else thinks he is. So that was just
Yeah.
wow, that was crazy. Like that was just unbelievable. And that was one of the best WrestleMania matches ever. Like
Yep.
I'm probably gonna watch it again sometime
Yeah, me too,
because
man.
of how good it was. Like man, like and another one of my favorite Undertaker moves is the last ride.
Oh,
That
yep.
was that's one of my favorites because it's really devastating because like he tucks his opponent's head between his legs,
Hmm.
uh, flips him over, and then like lifts him all the way up over his shoulders, and then
Yes.
boom, just slams him on the ground like on the mat, and it's like you hear this loud,
Oof.
like you can just hear like the ring shake, and his opponent's all laid out, all jacked up and everything. Like the energy is just
Hmm.
out of them and crap, and that was
Oof.
wow. Like that's that's I mean, not a lot of people have the strength to do that. So like
Hmm.
like like not like the spine buster. You know, that's another devastating move, but it's I don't think it's powerful as I don't think it's as powerful as the last ride though, because it's like more of like spine buster is more. I think it's more like a counter than actual like finishing move. Because like
Yep.
wow, last ride I'm like that's one of my favorites. And the 619 is another one of my favorites.
Yes, Rey Mysterio.
Yeah,
I think he's like the first luchador to ever join WWE, seconds to Sin Cara, you know.
yeah, yeah. I feel like Rey Mysterio didn't get he didn't get the opportunities that he deserved in WWE. Like I feel like
Yep.
he was held like he should have been in the main event like more than he was given. Like he should have been in the main event more than the regular TV show tapings because he was just so good at what he did and like
Hmm.
you know. But 619 that was one of my favorite Rey Mysterio moves because he's like because once his opponents like once they slump over the middle rope, he just runs to the other side of the ring and then and like bounces off the ropes, then runs back and then just jumps and swings himself through the through the ropes and just
Yep.
boom, like hits his opponent's face with either his feet or his legs and stuff and crap. And the
Hmm.
thing and then he follows up with like a senton or some other, I think the either it's a senton or a splash or something
Hmm.
afterwards, and that was just, oh my gosh,
Yep.
that looks that looks mad painful. But Rey Mysterio, like he's one of my favorite wrestlers because he's so agile and quick and charismatic
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So
Yeah, and yeah, my first WWE figure that I ever got was a Rey Mysterio figure. And uh, and it was like one of those figures where uh, you can pose the arms and all that stuff, but I couldn't pose the leg because the leg was it was for this ring where he does the flip. He does a flip, and his legs they bend. So that was one of the gimmicks that I had, and I don't know where that figure went. I can't find that figure anymore. But that was memories because I remember like yeah he was one of my favorite wrestlers too. Like just talking about Rey Mysterio and just looking at his stature, like he's the shortest I believe out of all wrestlers. Like no supporters and all that stuff, but he's like the shortest wrestler in the WWE as I think right now.
yeah, right. And I don't know why that's a bad action figure, by the way, because it's like how are you gonna pose the arms, but you can't pose the legs? Like what?
I mean, it was a gimmick. It was this action figure line where they have some wrestlers where you can pose the legs and but you can't pose the arm because the arms are like the throwing arms. So like the arms they were like gimmick a different way. But with Rey Mysterio, you can gimmick his leg, but his leg has the gimmick where he flips. So it was like you put him on this ring on that it was sold separate and you put him there, and then you just the leg would bend, as if he's doing a flip. And once you let go, he flips, and then he's supposed to like hit the opponent or do something. So that was how that was how the gimmick worked. And but I don't know where that figure went because I don't know, haven't seen it, haven't seen that figure. I think my parents donated or something happened to it, but yeah, I can't find that figure anymore.
Sucks. But I think yeah, I'm gonna need to get me a Rey Mysterio figure. But I like but yeah, like I like a lot of his moves, like, especially the frog splash. I
Yeah.
like that because it's like a tribute to Eddie Guerrero.
Oh,
Um, um, and yeah, I like action figures like that. But do you mean like so when you say you can't, then his legs aren't posable? Do you mean like you can't bend his legs?
well, you can, but like you can't like pose it. It's stuck in this
Oh,
yeah, in this one motion that it's the gimmick is only like for him to flip. Yeah, it's movable. Like you can move the foot, you can move the legs, but the legs are they're unison, so like they're connected, and you can't bend one foot to the other. You can't do it. No, both feet. If you bend one foot, the other foot's gonna follow too. So that was the gimmick, and that like at first I don't know why. I mean, I got that figure when I was like around 12, 13. And that was one of the major figures I got ever since as a kid. And yeah, it really I like took me by surprise because now think of it like the only thing is that yeah that I wish was that if I got a Rey Mysterio, I would have gotten it if he had like posable legs. I could pose him in different poses, And yeah, I don't know what I was thinking back as a kid. I thought I composed it, but I guess as a kid I didn't really think about it, and I just wanted it, and my parents got it for me. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. So,
Mhm.
but I think another one of my favorite, other one of my favorite, moves is the Batista bomb.
Yes.
That one's so devastating. Like Batista's
Mhm.
an animal, I swear. Like he'll, like when he does it, it just looks so devastating. He'll be like, boom, like
Yeah.
it's similar to the last ride,
Mhm.
but the only difference is that he sits down like when he's doing it, and he just slams like just drives his whole body into it and slams his opponents to the mat, and they're
Yo.
done for, like, you know. And and but like sometimes he'll get crazy. Like sometimes he'll be like he'll just start grabbing the ropes, and he'll be like, oh, like shaking and grabbing,
Yeah.
and then and everybody's all hyped, and then he'll like I remember sometimes he'll go outside of the ring, and then he'll grab the steel steps.
Ooh.
He'll grab the steel steps like after he he clobbered his opponents and they're like laid out. He'll grab the steel steps and he'll put them like in the center of the ring. He'll set it up like he'll grab his opponents, and then he'll do the Batista bomb, and boom, like they land back first into the steel steps. Like
Oh.
yeah, like I remember you did. So I was like, oh my God. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I was
Yup.
like, oh, that was just painful. And like, I
Mhm.
was like, their opponents, his opponents are done for, like at that point, like
Mhm.
just completely like destroyed with that. And
Like that's just a bad move to get really into because like once you get Batista bomb, it's kind of hard to get up like the tombstone. It's gonna be really hard to really get out and really like stand up again because he's putting pressure into like your back, and that really gives him the advantage to win the match if he wanted to, anyways.
yeah, because your whole back is getting is pretty much taking all the force,
Yep.
all and you're getting jacked up, and like and not I think it knocks the wind out of you, and I think maybe your head hits
Yep.
the mat too, and you get knocked out from it too, I think. And it does a lot of
Mhm.
damage, and just like good luck kicking out of that.
Mhm.
uh Man, this really that movie is really devastating. Like,
Yep.
and uh and it suits him really well because like I think he did. Although I think and sometimes he would do the Batista bomb on the like he would do the Batista bomb on somebody through the announce table.
Mhm.
I was just like, oh my God, like this is unbelievable. Like somebody got Batista bomb through the table. Like, oh man. And they
Yep.
were just laid out cold, like laid out like just completely like all jacked up. Like, oh man.
Mhm.
And I think the last
Yep.
move for me,
And
like the last the last what were you about to say?
oh no, I was like, yeah, that's just very devastating just to get hit by that move. But yeah.
The last all right, the last move for me, like that's the best wrestling move, in my opinion, would have to be the DDT
Yes.
because because like because if you get hit with the DDT, like pretty much getting knocked out, and like
Mhm.
your head your head is getting slammed into the mat,
Yo.
and you are just getting knocked out. Like, and I think the thing about the DDT is that there's really no counter to it. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
you could counter it before um before you the person like applies it,
Mhm.
but midway, like you can't really. There's no way to counter it. Like like with the like with the FU, if you had if you had like perfect balance,
Mhm.
then maybe you could probably counter it. Like, cause I've seen like some people like and Kurt Angle, he tried to do this suplex, German suplex on a guy like Shelton Benjamin, and Shelton Benjamin like he landed on his feet.
Yo.
So that was an impressive counter.
Mhm.
But with the DDT though, like it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how strong you are, um, because once somebody gets you in like a headlock and just drops their whole body down to the mat and drives their head into the mat, like okay, your neck is like the weakest part of the body, so
Yo.
wherever the head goes, your body has to go too. So
Mhm.
once you like drive you so once your head gets driven into the mat, like you get knocked out because the whole body's actually applying all that force and all that force like it's pretty much driving your head into the mat,
Mhm.
and the ground can't miss, so like ground like once your head hits the ground, like it's over for you, like
Yo.
really painful move.
Mhm.
So you got anything else that you wanted to add?
Um. Nope. Yeah. Like all those wrestling moves we talk about. Yeah. It's really. I mean, some people say that the WWE is put for show and all that stuff and all this stuff, but I really say that sometimes it is real. Like sometimes wrestlers they do get hurt through, getting thrown, getting slammed, all that stuff, and that's not something to be taken lightly because they're putting their lives at risk too, and that's a scary thing to really do as a career. So yeah.
Right, and that stuff is real too because like they actually get hurt doing it. Like um I remember Stone Cold, he got power driven one time to the mat and his neck broke.
Oh
And but he didn't want paramedics to carry him out. He walked out like a man.
oh no! If I got my neck broke,
What was that? You got cut off for a second. Can't hear you.
oh wait,
Yeah, I couldn't hear you for a second. What was
oh, okay.
if you got If you got your neck broke, what?
If I got my neck broke, I would not stand up like Stevie Austin. I would have just laid down, let the paramedics do their job, and then just be like, "Okay, do your job, paramedic. Take me to the hospital. I think I need a surgery."
Yeah, he walked out like a champ. Like it was
Ooh,
no big deal. Like his neck, he was stumbling a little bit, and his neck was like flopping over a little bit. Like his head was flopping over,
ooh.
like kind of like lumping over. But he was real tough. Like
Hmm.
yeah. All right. Anything else you wanted to add?
No, that I'm good.
All right, that's guys. That's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, check out my boy's channel, share this video, comment, um, do whatever.
Mhm.
I'll, and I'll see you later.